G'day guys, I just want to speak just briefly on how basically most evolutionists and that when I speak, on the street, they say, oh, you have more faith than me. Well, really, that's a blatant lie, because even though Christians live by faith, that be true, but evolutionists and anybody who wants to hold true to the idea that we just came from nothing and evolved from nothing, I would say you have far more faith than I, because I believe that there was an incredible God who designed these things, who was so intelligent to fit things together perfectly and not happen by chance. Yet, to consider the fact that all these things just happen randomly, out of order, and just happen to be here, the mathematical chance of that is an impossibility. It's like blowing a house up and expect it to all come back together perfectly. That's probably times 1,000 in the same context. I mean, it's just ridiculous that even the 70 trillion cells that make up basically a human person can function in the way it does just through random chance throughout history. That's just blatant guesswork. Evolution lives and thrives on a couple of main things. Is one, that it's a theory. Two, you can't prove the theory. There's no established evidence to support it. There's so many gaps in all your different transitional stages. Especially if you start at the start, there is massive gaps at the start from single cell organisms and so on, let alone from dead matter to live matter. Work that one out. The trouble is, people think that Christianity is not scientific, but they're missing the fact that they've been spoon-fed all the so-called facts, which are not facts at all. They're just simply speculations or theories based on the same evidence which is before us both. The only difference is you're only getting one side of the coin. And the question is, see, they say that Christians haven't got an open mind. This is the other interesting statement they are trying to establish. Now let's consider this for a moment. What if somebody has come from a non-Christian home? They've grown up, 19 years as a non-Christian, like myself, and then after that, for the last 10 years, they've sought God and experienced so many things concerning the things of God. I would consider that sort of person could definitely put their hand up and say they're far more open-minded than someone who's just lived outside the realm of God and not seek God nor seek the Bible and prayed diligently to find out any truth in the supernatural. Because I would say that a person who just holds to one side of the coin and thinks they understand it all is either very ignorant or has got a very closed mind. To weigh it up, let's consider, if we knew 1% of what the world has to offer, just our world, not let alone the galaxies and all the stars therein, but just our world, you would not find one person on the whole planet who actually knows 1% of how everything works and the matter and blah 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 blah. Even now, scientists and the best therein are only scratching the surface of every single aspect of science. You just need to look at the flaws in the system of how much they don't know. And so it's very strange, I think, on two counts. That one, I find those who either are evolutionists or those who want to hold true to such beliefs are either, one, I would state very clearly, are far more closed-minded than those who are willing to look outside of what the world tells them or what they've been spoon-fed and actually seek on both sides and read books that are written by Christian scientists and find out that the facts from both sides of the table, instead of just holding true to one set of beliefs based on what sort of sounds good to you. Because you think about it, it does sound good in some ways to not be held accountable for what we do, but it's just not truth concerning what the Bible speaks about, and it's certainly not truth to what I know to be true after seeking God for 10 years. So my statement is about concerning these facts is that let's consider a little bit more to do with who has an open mind and whether you're willing to keep that open enough to find out truth. I mean, I put the challenge to anybody. If they're willing to go and seek, like the Bible says, open the Bible up. Pray to God in secret, why the Bible says, where nobody can hear you, nobody can see you. Don't be so concerned about whether your friends might consider you reading the Bible. This is going to be for your own well-being. If you don't realize that there is such a heaven and hell when it comes to life ever after, and after we go to the grave, then you may be missing out on the greatest gift of life that is ever offered unto us all, and be classed as the greatest fool for never considering it, or never even taking heed of the warnings which has been time and time again told to us, but we've just gone, no, it's not for me, I don't believe in that. It doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not. It all comes down to the fact that it's true. I can stand on the road and say, don't believe in cars, don't believe that there's such a thing as a car. What's going to happen? I'm going to get run over. Why? Because they exist. The simple fact is, it doesn't matter who has 100 different beliefs on the earth. It comes down to one intrinsic fact. What is truth? And until you define that, until you have an open enough mind for that, until you have enough wisdom to see, who has enough faith to see what is truth in that, you won't understand what truly is truth.